Joseph McCann was well known in the Ruahine area as a respected and responsible dairy farmer, so a neighbour found it odd that on December 29, 1914, the milk from the McCann farm had not arrived at the factory, and a day earlier McCann had not shown up to help another neighbour with their sheep. The neighbour went to the farm where he found, in the barn, the dead body of Joseph McCann. He had been struck with an axe 6 times. Another neighbour entered the McCann home, where he found Joseph's wife Lucy on the floor of their bedroom under a pile of clothes, while the couple's baby son John was located on the bed. They had also been killed with the axe, which was discovered 10 feet away from the barn. It had a large amount of blood and some hair on the blade. The brutal murders of the McCanns sent shockwaves through the small community. No one dared to go near the farm. Investigators soon learned that a man named Arthur Rottman had been living with the McCanns as a farmhand. Rottman was a German sailor who, as World War II broke out, was working in New Zealand. He was detained, placed under strict restrictions, and began working for Joseph McCann. Rottman was a quick learner who was willing to work, but now he was nowhere to be found. He had delivered milk to the factory on the 27th. The witness stated that Rottman had puffy eyes and a red face, but otherwise appeared normal. The next day, Rottman arrived unusually early to the factory. This time, the milk was not at the usual weight. Rottman explained that one of the milk cans had been spilled in the barn. However, upon examination, police found no signs of any milk on the ground. Inside Rottman's room was a blood-stained sheet, as well as a second axe, with blood on the blade. Police began to search for Rottman. He had already fled the area by horse. Prior to the discovery of the bodies, he spoke to a police officer who asked him how he liked his job, to which Rottman replied, "Splendid, they are very good to me, I would not leave there for anything." Rottman first attempted to catch a boat, but was turned away and was instead told to catch the boat at Wellington, headed for Nelson. Rottman told the witness that there were police lined up waiting to arrest any German that showed up, and that he would rather drown than be a prisoner. The next day, a witness informed police of Rottman's location after the fugitive pointed out the Ruahine murder story in the newspaper the man was reading. Arthur Rottman was located in bushes behind a farmhouse. The owner of the farm drew his revolver. Rottman surrendered and said, "I am guilty. I know what I have done." As he was properly restrained, he further stated, "I am guilty. God, punish the man who brought liquor into this country." On the train, the 21-year-old wrote a letter that read, "On the morning of the 28th of December, I got home about 3 o'clock and went out with McCann to the cow bales. McCann was putting in a new board. I asked him to let me do it, as I was a carpenter. He said, 'You are too full.' I said, 'I can swing an axe,' and swinging it round my head, I accidentally hit McCann. I then slept for 2 hours. When I got up, I saw McCann there. I drank another bottle of whiskey, wanting to kill myself. I then went to Mrs. McCann's bedroom to tell her what I had done. I don't remember anything more till I came to the cow bale, and there I saw McCann. I got sober at once, and put 4 tins of water into the milk, and went to the factory." While Rottman had confessed to the killings, it had to be determined whether or not he was sane at the time. As the trial began, the jury was instructed to make their decision based on the facts of the case, and not because the defendant was German. Arthur Rottman had claimed that he was out drinking heavily, and when he returned to the McCann farm, he was told to accompany Joseph to fix a board in the barn. Rottman suggested that he should do it because he was a carpenter, but Joseph said that he was too drunk. Rottman, to prove that he wasn't, said that he picked up an axe and started swinging it around his head and accidentally hit Joseph. Rottman then suffered a number of blackouts. He found himself in the McCann bedroom explaining to Lucy what had happened. Then he found himself in the hallway. When he walked back into the bedroom, he found Lucy and baby John dead. A neighbour confirmed that Rottman had been with him before the murders had taken place. The 2 men started drinking in the middle of the day and finished up at around 10 p.m. The witness noted that Rottman wanted to leave in the afternoon, but the man insisted that he kept drinking. Rottman told the witness that he liked Joseph McCann, but did not care for his wife Lucy. He believed she, quote, "has him under her slipper," which Rottman did not consider right for a woman. Numerous doctors took to the stand and agreed that there was a strong possibility that Arthur Rottman had suffered from a brief manic episode brought on by drinking excessively. A number of witnesses came forward to speak about his character. He was quiet but reliable, with a good reputation. His father was a heavy drinker, and his mother had been placed in a mental asylum twice when he was growing up. The defense asked the jury to find Rottman guilty of insanity, which would result in imprisonment in an asylum. The prosecution, however, noted that Joseph McCann had been struck 6 times with the axe. Rottman had also fled the scene and had admitted that he was fearful of losing his job because of the drinking session. He had already lined up another job elsewhere. Before the verdict was handed down, Arthur Rottman would state, "I have received the best of treatment. At no time could there be any reason, nor did they give me any, for committing the crime. I know nothing of killing the poor people. Although my country is at war with yours, I have received a fair trial, and if I have to die like my countrymen who are fighting, I'll die with a good heart, and leave it to that great day for our good Father in heaven to judge." Arthur Rottman was found guilty and sentenced to death for the murders of the McCann family. It was since suggested that even if Rottman had suffered a bout of insanity, the hatred towards Germans at the time was too intense to allow for calm judgment. On March 8, 1915, Arthur Rottman was executed by hanging at the Wellington jail.